Welcome one and welcome all to Faces and Heels, your professional wrestling podcast here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and welcome to WrestleMania XL. It is WrestleMania week, and we are geared up, primed up for the showcase of the Immortals. Yes, everybody, it has finally come. The event of all events, the Super Bowl of wrestling, WrestleMania, which takes place April the 6th and 7th, live on Peacock from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This will be the biggest premium live event of the year, as it is every year. WrestleMania has taken place since 1985, and I've sat there and tried to do the math for the past couple of weeks, and I'm like, how is this 40? We're in 2024. I don't know how this is 40, but you know, maybe it's the Mandela effect. I don't know what it is, but nonetheless, it is WrestleMania XL, where every match can be classified as a main event match. That's the purpose of WrestleMania. WrestleMania is supposed to be all main event matches, and this year we come close to a lot of them. There's a lot of them you can classify as main events. Some of them not so much, but they have the potential to be barn burners. And we're going to go through every match. I'm going to give my predictions of every match and prepare for the showdown in Philly this weekend. On the card, and I don't know which ones are on night one or night two. The only ones I know for certain is the Bloodline match, the tag team match. That's in night one. And of course, the undisputed WWE championship match, which is in night two. I know those for certain, but I don't know which nights all these matches are going to fall, and it doesn't matter. So it could be the third night. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to see them. But let's go through. These are the list of them. We have Io Sky, who is the WWE Women's Champion, and she will put up her championship against Bayley. Rhea Ripley is the Women's World Champion. She will put up her championship against Becky Lynch. The Intercontinental Championship, where the champion Gunther will face Sami Zayn in that championship match. We have the Judgment Day of Damian Priest and Finn Balor, who are the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. They will be putting up their championship in a six-pack tag team ladder match at WrestleMania versus DIY versus The Awesome Truth versus The New Day versus A-Town Down versus New Catch Republic. We also have a singles match, well, a couple of singles matches here. LA Knight will take on AJ Styles. The Battle of the Usos, we have Jey Uso taking on his twin brother, Jimmy Uso. We have the WWE United States Championship match, where Logan Paul will put up that championship against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat match for the United States Championship, and a three-way tag team match where we will see Damage Control, which consists of Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors, taking on Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. That's going to be an interesting match. But all of the talk, all of the hype surrounding WrestleMania XL is three particular matches. Two of them are championship matches. The other one will determine the state of one of the championship matches. Of course, first and foremost, the World Heavyweight Championship match, where Seth freaking Rollins will put his championship on the line against Drew McIntyre, and going to have the added caveat of CM Punk on commentary for that match, as well as the Bloodline, who are The Rock and Roman Reigns, taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And in that match, if the Bloodline wins, the championship match at night 2 will be Bloodline Rules. But if Cody and Seth wins the championship match at night 2, we'll have all members of the bloodline banned from ringside. So that has huge implications to our main event of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, putting up his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes. And so there is a lot going on. Now, these are the confirmed matches. There may be more down the pipe. There may be some surprises to take place at WrestleMania. Those we have to wait and see. But let's run down our card here. Let's start with the undercard that's not affiliated with the bloodline, and which seems to be the only thing being hyped here. At least you get the feel. If you're really watching Raw and SmackDown the last month, couple of months, all of these matches are getting their proper due, but the main juggernaut is the bloodline storyline, which is understandable because that's where the money is. But let's start off. Where should we start off? Let's start off with the WWE Women's Championship. And this is a match that I don't know. I feel now this one I feel is kind of under promoted. This one is not getting the hype behind it. Kind of suffering from everything that's going on elsewhere in WWE. But I think this has the potential to be a really, really good match. And that is the champion Io Sky putting her championship up against Bayley, who is the winner of this year's Women's World Rumble match. And she chose Io Sky to face at WrestleMania. Now, all of this goes back to SummerSlam of last year. Yeah, last year, I think, when Bayley made her return. No, 2 years ago, when Bayley made her return. You know, she was out for a while with injury, and, you know, she came back, came back, and along with her was Io Sky and Dakota Kai. And they formed Damage Control. And Damage Control never really took off. It did a little something, you know. They have some belts. I mean, as it consists of right now, they have the WWE Women's Championship, and they also have the Women's Tag Team Champions are in Damage Control. So it's not like they're not doing anything, but it just didn't have that impact on the women's division that I think was the initial push for Damage Control. But later on down the line, we got the addition of Kairi Sane when she returned to the WWE after taking time off in Japan and killing it over there. And she returned, and she came back, I believe, in October or maybe November of last year, and she joined Damage Control. Now, before Kairi Sane left, she had left and she had issues with Bayley. You know, Bayley was, quote unquote, the reason she left. You know, she hurt her or whatever. But she forgave Bayley and joined Damage Control. And the next thing you know, Asuka joined Damage Control. So Damage Control was getting kind of big, you know. And that subsequently reunited the Kabuki Warriors. And they later became the Women's Tag Team Champions. So it was a powerful force there. The Damage Control was starting to pick up some traction. And so with the group getting some success on SmackDown and with multiple championships, you know, Bayley was kind of the odd woman out there. She was, you know, Dakota Kai. She didn't have any championships, but she was hurt. And Dakota Kai, God bless her, she's always hurt. But she didn't have anything. But she was more of that valet role, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. But that's only because she was hurt. She couldn't actually perform in the ring. But Bayley, who was the de facto leader, who put this team together, she was the odd woman out because she hadn't captured any championship. After multiple attempts to try to get a championship, she couldn't do it. And everybody else was kind of leaving her behind, you know, and it was kind of snickering behind the scenes, kind of talking behind her back and behind the scenes. But you know, she shrugged it off or whatever. And so that leads us to the Royal Rumble of this year. And in the Women's Royal Rumble, Bayley wins. And she earned a women's championship match at WrestleMania. And so Bayley had previously said she was going after the Raw's Women's Championship so that Damage Control would hold all of the women's titles on Raw and SmackDown, which was cool. That would have been a cool little thing if they were able to accomplish that goal. However, in February, it was an episode on SmackDown after Bayley overheard Io Sky and Asuka and Kairi Sane having this little conversation, and they were laughing and all this here, and they were talking in Japanese, and you see Bayley in the background kind of like with her face down, like she understood what they said, but nothing really came of that. It was what it was. And so they get to the ring, they're talking and blah, blah, blah. And Bayley reveals that she understands Japanese and how they make fun of her. And she's listened to this for a while and hadn't said anything. And Bayley was then kicked out of Damage Control after they had a little back and forth. They started to fight. And Asuka and Kairi Sane attacked her, which ultimately turned Bayley face for the first time since 2019. And so after fighting off the rest of Damage Control, Bayley decided that she would challenge Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania XL. Now, Dakota Kai was absent when Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane turned on Bayley. And so she wasn't there. She wasn't present. And so she seemingly took the side of Bayley, and the next week on Raw, they had a tag team match set up, and Dakota Kai, big surprise, turned on Bayley. So that was that. It was Bayley against the world, basically, but at WrestleMania, it will be Bayley challenging Io Sky for her WWE Women's Championship. And my prediction for this match, I think Bayley will go over and defeat Io Sky in a awesome match. I think that's going to be a barn burner. I wouldn't be shocked if that opens night one, because this is and that's not a shot to say that okay, this is the first match on. No, normally WWE as of late has put the best match first to set the tone for the rest of the premium live event, and I think this has the potential to do that. If not night one, night two, but I think Bayley will put on a show. Io Sky always puts on a show. They're gonna go at it. Bayley is one of the best female workers in the business, hands down. Ever since go back to NXT, her and Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné, whatever you want to call her now. They put on classics in NXT, and when she got to the main roster, put on classics throughout. Putting people over. I mean, Bayley is just generally the business through and through. She has no problem putting over other female wrestlers. She has no problem doing the job for anybody, and she's been doing this for years. And it's been a while since she's held gold, and I think she's due. She's truly due. And she has challenged Bianca Belair and didn't succeed. Charlotte Flair didn't succeed. I would have loved to see her go up against Rhea Ripley, but I don't think it's the right time. I think they did right not pulling the trigger on that yet. But her and Io, there's something there. There's backstory there. I'm excited for this match, but my prediction will be Bayley coming out on top and becoming the new WWE Women's Champion. Speaking of Damage Control has their own issues leading into WrestleMania. They have beef. Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, they have beef with Naomi and Bianca Belair. And they have made life hard for Bianca and Naomi for the past few weeks. But on the previous SmackDown on what that was, March the 29th, we got an equalizer. After Bianca Belair defeated Dakota Kai, Damage Control engaged in a beatdown of Bianca Belair and Naomi in the ring, and lo and behold, Jade Cargill made her debut as an official roster member of SmackDown and made the save after weeks of teasing a feud with Damage Control. And so this has been set up. Little seeds have been set up the past few weeks, and it finally pulled the trigger. So later it was announced that Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair will face Damage Control, which consists of Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane in a 6-woman tag team match at WrestleMania. I'm going to tell you the God honest truth. This is one of those matches that, I wouldn't care about any other time. But when Naomi, Bianca, and Jade pointed at the sign on SmackDown, that is one of the most iconic images you ever going to see. 3 black women in the ring together, standing together. We have never seen this. And I mean, I got chills when I saw that. I was like, wow, I didn't know I wanted this. But I want this. And it is all shaped up to be something epic. And now, my prediction, I think it will be Jade, Bianca, and Naomi going over. Those are, the most experienced when you have Naomi in the mix. The most powerful when you have Bianca and Jade there. Man, that is going to be some good stuff. So I think those 3 women will defeat Damage Control in this tag team match. And so, I'm not expecting much from it because let's be honest. Jade, this will be quote unquote her first official match. Yes, she came in the Royal Rumble, but that wasn't an actual match. You know what I'm saying? So this will be her first match in WWE. Yes, I do know that she had a career at AEW before she came to WWE, but she didn't look all that impressive in AEW. But she has been at the Performance Center for months. I hope and pray that she got better, but it's all there. She has it all. She is athletic. She is strong. She has the look. She's good on the mic. Everything is there. Can she put it together in the ring? Those questions will be answered at WrestleMania XL. Sticking with the ladies, let's move over to the Women's World Championship, which the Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley will defend against Becky Lynch. I was kind of skeptical at first. When they announced it, do I really want this match? And then when you think about it, those two never linked up. They never went at it in the ring, at least not that I've seen. So I was like, okay, I would like to see that. And so this all stems from the results of the Elimination Chamber match that took place in Australia last month, where Becky Lynch won that match and won the opportunity to take on Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. And this one is a head scratcher. This one I really this is a tough one. This is a tough one, but I think at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley will retain her championship. And I'm taking fanboy out of it. I'm taking my love for Rhea Ripley out of it. But I'm looking at it in its totality. Rhea Ripley she's a beast, man. I just, as much as I love Becky Lynch and I've enjoyed her run the last few years, I don't see her defeating Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is on a whole nother level right now. She is just dancing on the clouds right now. I just don't see Becky defeating her unless there's some type of shenanigans or Becky turns heel or whatever the case may be. Let's not forget Rhea Ripley is the heel, but she gets cheered every week because everybody loves her. We love Rhea Ripley. We love Mommy. And so I don't know. Something will have to happen in order for Becky Lynch to win. But that's set up too. That has also been set up with Nia Jax, also with what's her name, Liv Morgan. Those elements could come into play during the match. But and if that happens, maybe Becky wins. But head to head, clean, Rhea Ripley wins this match and she retains her Women's World Championship. That's all I can say. I really don't know what else can happen. What else could happen here? But we shall see. I'm predicting Rhea Ripley. Moving on to our next match, we have AJ Styles versus LA Knight. And this was set up in December when AJ Styles made his return. He was coming off an injury, and he actually helped LA Knight fend off the Bloodline. This is when LA Knight was going after the undisputed WWE championship at the time, and he helped him. But as soon as he helped him, he turned right around and attacked LA Knight with a steel chair. And so everybody was like, what's going on? At least I was like, man, where'd this come from? And Styles later explained that he attacked LA Knight for taking his spot in a tag team match at Fastlane in October of that year, basically saying that he stepped over his dead body to get ahead. And so both of them participated in this fatal four-way match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble just this past January. But neither of them won, of course, but their feud continued. So LA Knight then qualified for the men's Elimination Chamber match in Australia just this past month for an opportunity to challenge for the championship. But AJ Styles didn't qualify for the match. So during the Elimination Chamber match itself, AJ Styles flew all the way to Australia just to sneak into the chamber and attack LA Knight with a steel chair, which caused LA Knight to be eliminated, which was the most random thing to ever happen. I mean, this would be one thing if it was here in the States somewhere and they had the event. You flew halfway across the world to attack a man with a chair. I thought that was so crazy and out of place, but whatever. It's WWE. We roll with it. And so after weeks of going back and forth with one another, LA Knight challenged AJ Styles for a match at WrestleMania XL, and AJ Styles accepted. This one, once again, don't know where we're going with it. I don't know, because when I think about AJ Styles, other than him defeating Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania a few years back, I was at that WrestleMania. That was the one here in New Orleans. I really don't know how many times AJ Styles have won at WrestleMania. I think that was his only win. I could be wrong, but that's the only one I remember right off the top of my head. He hasn't been very successful at WrestleMania. LA Knight, it seems like he was about to get the push of a lifetime, and then it kind of just stopped. And I don't know what's going on with that either. Now, granted, the championship circle is going in different directions right now, but I don't know where we're heading with a push concerning LA Knight. But in regards to this match, I don't know who would benefit from it. I don't know who would benefit going forward as far as championship pedigree is concerned. You know what I'm saying? What would this being a stepping stone to move on to championship matches? AJ Styles, he's been there. AJ Styles is as accomplished as you can get. He really don't need this. If anybody needed this, it would be LA Knight. But I don't think LA Knight will come out victorious here. My prediction for this singles match between LA Knight and AJ Styles, I think AJ Styles will come out victorious, even though he doesn't need the win. Now, they could put LA Knight over, and I'll be all right with it. Either way it go, I'll be all right with it. But just looking at it on paper, I think AJ Styles will come out victorious in this match. Let's move on to the Intercontinental Championship match between the champion Gunther versus Sami Zayn. This was not. I'm not excited for this match, even though I like both of these competitors. Really love Gunther, but I'm not excited for this match for some strange reason. I think it's because I'm so ready for Gunther to challenge either Roman Reigns or Seth for a actual heavyweight championship or an undisputed championship. You know what I'm saying? I'm geared up for that. I'm ready for that. And so he's kind of stuck in limbo with this Intercontinental Championship, and I'm ready for him to drop it. And then I think Sami Zayn is going to take it off of him and ultimately catapult Gunther to move forward for an actual heavyweight championship match with somebody, whether it's Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. We'll see, but that's why I'm not excited for this, because I think I know. I got the feeling that Gunther is going to drop the belt at WrestleMania, and so he can move on to bigger and better things. I mean, he's had the Intercontinental Championship for about 2 years now, so it's time to move on. And so my prediction, of course, if you haven't caught the hint by now, Sami Zayn will become the new Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania by defeating Gunther. Or there's still the little element there of, oh my God, Chad Gable kind of running interference, because Chad Gable was so close to defeating Sami Zayn to get that shot at WrestleMania against Gunther. Will he be a factor in this match? I don't know, but I still feel Sami Zayn will win. Okay, let's move on to our next match, and it is for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship in a 6-pack tag team ladder match. This came about through a tournament of sorts, where we saw various teams go up against each other from Raw and SmackDown, and I think even the NXT team, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, we will get 5 teams going up against the Judgment Day, who are the tag team champions, who consist of Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They will take on DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus The Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth, versus The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, versus A-Town Down Under, the team of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, versus the New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates. I'm not excited for this one. This is probably the one match where there's another one coming up, but this is one of the 2 matches that I really don't care about. I honestly don't care about, and there's nothing against any of these teams. It's just that the tag team championships haven't meant anything in a long time to me. Now, this could be a banger match. I mean, it has the making of it. They have some really good talent in this match across the board, all 6 teams. But it just doesn't have that same allure. And for me personally, I'm more focused on Damian Priest and that Money in the Bank briefcase. When is he going to cash this in? Will it be at WrestleMania? I don't know, but it's coming time. We're coming on to a year, aren't we? It's about time for him to cash it in. And so, what's the holdup? But that's really where my focus has been concerning the Judgment Day. So that remains to be seen. But out of these six teams in this tag team or six pack tag team ladder match, I believe if I had to choose a team, I think it would be DIY. I think DIY will go over Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. I think they I think they're going to get the rub here. Judgment Day is over. They don't need the belts. The Awesome Truth, they don't need the belts. you know, the New Day, they've been champions multiple times. They don't need the belt. You can make an argument for A-Town Down Under, but I mean, I don't see that happening. And the New Catch Republic, I think Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, they're going to be more of a showcase for this new show, Speed, that's going to be on X. That little 3-minute wrestling match thing that they're going to have on X. That's going to be the focus of that. So I don't think they need the belt as well. But DIY, it's been a long time coming before, since they've held gold in the WWE or NXT. So I think this is the time. So that's my prediction for this six-pack tag team championship ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. DIY will come out victorious. Now, here's the match that I just don't care. Honestly, I don't care because this has been dragging on and going nowhere for months. And it is the six-man Philadelphia street fight between the Pride, which consists of Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford with B-Fab, versus the Final Testament, which is Karrion Kross, Akeem, and Razor. I don't care. I honestly don't care. This is a whatever match for me. And it may turn out to be a banger. Only because I like the street profits. That's the only reason why I like this. Karrion Kross, this has been one of the few fails from Triple H. Trying to get Karrion Kross over. It just has not worked. Since they brought him back, even before they brought him back, it just haven't worked with Karrion Kross. And he had potential. He was a beast in NXT. Loved him in the NXT. But once he moved up to the main roster, and aside from that crazy, I don't know what Vince McMahon was doing when he first called him up. It was wild. But I'm gonna take that to the side because that wasn't Karrion Kross' fault. That was Vince McMahon's fault. But since he's returned under Triple H's regime, it's been nothing. It's been nothing. He's been beaten more than I can count. Every feud he's gotten in, he's lost. There's nothing to his character. It's a little life now with this Final Testament stable, but it's still nothing to run out and shout about. You know what I'm saying? And the poor Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, they're just trying to find something. They're just throwing stuff against the wall, seeing what stick with those three gentlemen. And poor B-Fab, ever since the what was the name of the clique they had? Oh man, I forgot the name. That's how forgettable it was. It was whatever with them, and they're just trying to find a spot for her as well. So I don't know what's going on here. I really have no prediction here. If I had to pick, I guess I'll go with the Pride, which is a ridiculous name for a stable, but I'll go with them to come out victorious in this street fight. But I'm not really looking forward to it at all this weekend and watch that be the one that shocks me. I hope so. I hope it does. But we shall see. Our next match of the weekend, we have brother versus brother, Uso versus Uso, Bloodline versus Bloodline. When Jimmy and Jay Uso go at it for the first time ever at WrestleMania. This has the makings of a show stiller with these two. This has been a match in the making for years. For years, even when they were on good terms, even when they were tag team champions, man, even when this bloodline storyline took off, this has been in the works. And we finally going to get it to culminate at WrestleMania XL. This is going to be a banger. I am so excited for this match. The seed was planted at the Royal Rumble when they were both 1 and 2 in the entry to the Royal Rumble, and we get that epic face off with those two, and it was like the pop was amazing, the interaction was amazing, and it was one of those things in the back of my mind that I never thought I would see, at least not this soon. I thought maybe further down the line they were, bump heads and actually take on each other. But I'm so happy that we're getting that we're actually getting it now. This is going to be cool, and I'm excited for it. And I think main event Jay Uso, will come out victorious by defeating his brother Jimmy in this singles match at WrestleMania. Our next match is for the United States Championship, where the champion, Logan Paul, will defend said championship against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat match. Now, this was set up at the Royal Rumble when Logan Paul defeated Kevin Owens by disqualification. Chris Paul, wrong sport. Logan Paul had attempted to use his brass knucks, but Kevin Owens used it instead and was caught and got disqualified. The following month at Elimination Chamber, we saw that I keep calling him Chris. Logan Paul and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton were participants in the Elimination Chamber match. And Randy Orton was he had eliminated both Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. And so that was the seed planted for this triple threat match. And Logan Paul watered that seed when he put on the brass knucks and knocked Randy Orton out in the chamber, causing him to be eliminated from the match. And so all that transpired, setting up this match. This is going to be really good. This is going to be a banger too. I believe Kevin Owens will come out victorious and become our new United States champion in this triple threat match. Just looking at it, I don't think Randy Orton needs that belt. He don't need it. And Logan Paul is a part-timer. The fact that he's held on to this title for a couple of months now is shocking to me, and doing a good job with it. Doing a really good job with it. I'm telling you, Logan Paul has sold me as a wrestler. I'm really impressed with everything he's doing in the ring. Even promo work, ring work, everything has been spot on, perfect. And kudos to him, but I think his reign comes to an end at WrestleMania when Kevin Owens defeats Logan Paul and Randy Orton to become the United States champion. Our next match is an interesting match. Not exciting, but interesting. And I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes, with the LWO and, Santos Escobar and Carlito. There's a lot going on there. And so that's what makes this match interesting. As far as just a straight up match, it is what it is. This will be a tag team match between the LWO, which consists of Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And look, we've seen Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio go at it last year. Was it last year at WrestleMania? And that was an awesome match, really good match. So for us to come back around this time being a tag team match, I'm not super excited for it, but I think there's more intangibles connected to this. You know, Carlito um looking a little upset when Rey Mysterio chose Dragon Lee over him to be a part of this tag team going into WrestleMania. Will he turn on the LWO? You know, Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom, man. The MVP of the WWE. I I can't wait to see this just for him. But I'm interested to see how this go. I think the winner of this match will be Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio due to interference from Carlito and possibly others. So we'll see how that goes. And so let's get into the two final matches to review for this WrestleMania, the big daddies of them all. I mean, there's no other way to describe them but epic, but main events, but game changers. The hype is real leading up to these two matches. And my God, I never thought that the road to WrestleMania would lead to this much excitement for these matches. Uh, Especially how it all kicked off after the Royal Rumble. The disappointment of uh Cody Rhodes, quote unquote, handing over his spot to The Rock, and the backlash behind that, and it's kind of turning on his head, and this the direction that we're going is genius. The telegraphed plot of this tag team match, you knew it was coming. And initially, I was upset that it was coming. But now I want that match probably more than I want the match between Cody and Roman for the Universal Championship. I'm so excited for that match for so many reasons. And so let's break down how all this came to be. As we all know, Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble last year and challenged Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. Came up short after interference from the bloodline. He lost at WrestleMania. Didn't get to finish the story. And so we fast forward to the Royal Rumble this year. And once again, Cody wins the Royal Rumble. Once again, he challenges Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Okay, we're getting it again. I'm cool with that. Everybody was cool with that. Finish the story, right? But it was a little wrinkle there. Seth freaking Rollins. He was like, look, this is the championship your daddy would have wanted. Dusty would have wanted this World Heavyweight Championship. And with me saying that out loud, I think I skipped over the World Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship review. Well, let me get on that real quick. Let me give you that real quick, and then we'll get into this bloodline. The World Heavyweight Championship between Seth freaking Rollins defending against Drew McIntyre. That has been a nice build as well. I like this direction we going with Drew. I love Drew McIntyre right now. He is epic good. I don't think he's ever been better on the mic. Honestly, it has been so entertaining, and especially with the added element of CM Punk there. It has been epic. I love his mic work the last few months. It has been amazing. And I think with all that's going on with the bloodline storyline and Seth being involved with that, I think it's too much. And at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre will bring home the World Heavyweight Championship and defeat Seth freaking Rollins. And that will set up the feud between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. You know, well, not set up the feud, but continue that feud where those two can battle for the belt. But I also have one caveat here. I don't think CM Punk is as hurt as people think he is or that he's letting on. I saw that interview he did with Ari. Oh Lord, who was it? That interview, that 2 hour interview he did a couple of days ago, and he kind of hinted that he was all right, you know, without saying he's all right. But he's still wearing that little not a cast, but this little apparatus on his arm. But I don't think he's as hurt as he led on to be. And I think it's a setup, and I think he's going to get involved. He's already going to be on the commentary desk for this match, but I think he's going to get involved with this match. Now, him getting involved in the match, which way is going to sway it, I don't know. But I think Drew McIntyre will come out victorious in the end. Seth has held that belt for a while. He's been the only one who held that belt since its inception. So it's time for him to kind of give it up. And Drew McIntyre, he deserves it. He deserves his WrestleMania moment. And that's being real. All foolishness aside, he got his moment in the COVID WrestleMania. You know, I mean, in an empty performance center. That's when he got his moment. And I think he deserves his moment at WrestleMania. And this will be the perfect time. So let's go back to I don't think I skipped any other ones. That was the only one I think I skipped. But let's go back to this bloodline storyline and Cody finishing the story. As I said before, Seth Rollins was trying to coach Cody Rhodes to fight him at WrestleMania. And Cody told him he'll think about it. But that next week on SmackDown, Cody came out and he announced that he would not challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And the world went nuts. Everybody lost their collective minds. And the reason I was upset, I can't speak for everybody else, and this has nothing to do with Cody or The Rock or anybody else. The reason I was upset, what was the point of the Royal Rumble? If the whole point of the Royal Rumble is if you win it, you get a main event at WrestleMania for the championship. Point blank, period. And so if you're just going to give up your spot, that just diminishes the value of the Royal Rumble. It's no point. So that's why I was upset. And so he turned around and he gave it to The Rock, allegedly. And well, at least he brought out The Rock. It was never officially said that he gave up his spot. He never actually said that, but he did say he wasn't challenging Roman Reigns. And so now with The Rock being involved, this is something that everybody has been hoping, wishing, and praying for years. The Rock challenging Roman Reigns for the head of the table, you know? And this was a seed that was planted on New Year's Day on Raw when The Rock returned. He beat up Jinder Mahal. He said, I'm going to go to the bar. Should I sit at the bar? Should I sit in the booth? Or should I sit at the head of the table? And everybody lost their collective minds, including me. I'm like, finally, they're doing it. Finally. And then reality set in. I'm like, whoa. Wait, he's not going to be in the Rumble. He's calling out Roman Reigns. What's going on? What's going on here? And so we had to wait till after the Rumble, and this happened. And you're like, no, 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 not like this. Yes, I want to see The Rock take on Roman. I do, but not like this. And so I don't know if it was a course correction. I don't know if this was the initial plan going into this, but my God, this worked. And so after The Rock and Roman came face to face on SmackDown, nothing was said. Nothing was said, but they came face to face. So they had the WrestleMania kickoff media event, which was the dumbest thing. But they had this little segment at the end where the two declared that they would face each other for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania. And, it's like, whatever. And you had The Rock come out and he shows the family tree and that the bloodline is deep and this is a blood oath that needs to be rectified or something. I don't know. But it wasn't any beef. It was just something to do. And I'm like, man, this can't be real. And so Cody Rhodes, he comes out and he insists that since he won the Royal Rumble, he earned the right to decide the main event and announce that he will indeed face Roman Reigns for the title. And so now, that's where I'm like, okay, they must have course correct because this really went off the rails when Cody gave his spot up. And so they had to shift. I can't see this being the plan all along. I couldn't see it because he gave it up for no reason. And then I don't even think it was a week later, he changed his mind and took it back for no reason. We still don't get an explanation. And so after bringing up each other's families, taking shots at each other, The Rock claimed that he and Rhodes now have an issue. And he slapped Cody in the face. This was at that media thing. And so now we got an issue. And so Triple H, he affirms that the main event at WrestleMania XL will be Roman defending the championship against Cody. So this ticks The Rock off and we get epic heel Rock. I love The Rock. And like everybody else, of course, The Rock is awesome, man. I watched him from Rocky Maivia to to his rise to the top, man. SmackDown was named after him. That's how prominent he was back in the Attitude Era. His epic showdowns with Stone Cold Steve Austin, all that. Beautiful. Loved the man. Loved his movies. Well, some of them. I love the man. I never thought I would witness this epic transformation of The Rock. This is the best Rock I have ever seen in WWE. Me personally, I'm just speaking personally. Final Boss Rock is awesome. He is awesome. This dude gives 0 F's. Well, I shouldn't say he gives 0 F's because he gives a lot of F's. He is dropping more F-bombs on TV than any other wrestler, I think, in the past 20 years combined. This dude is on an epic heel run right now. And it's going to hurt my heart when he go back to making movies because I want him to stay in the WWE and cut these epic promos that he's doing right now. It is amazing. The stuff he's doing to Cody, beating him half to death. All this stuff is great. The only thing that gives me pause is the fact that, at least I feel, Roman Reigns is kind of on the back burner. It's really more Rock and Cody than it is Rock, or should I say, Cody and Roman. And so that's the only knock I have against this build up to WrestleMania for the past couple of months. Like Roman is pretty much an afterthought in this feud, and he is the main piece to this puzzle. But I mean, The Rock is so good, you don't care. You don't care. And this led to a match being formed, a tag team match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus the Bloodline, which is The Rock and Roman Reigns in night one of WrestleMania. The stipulation with this match, the reason why is at night one, if Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins win, all members of the Bloodline will be banned from ringside in the night two undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. But if The Rock and Roman win this tag team match, the championship match at night two will be held under Bloodline rules. I don't know what Bloodline rules are, but the only thing I can think of is no disqualification. That's the only thing I can think of. But I think this is a good setup. Pretty good build up for this. My prediction for this tag team match, I think the Bloodline will win. I think the Bloodline wins. You're not going to have The Rock come for night one and not show up for night two. It's not going to, there's no point to bring him in for this run. He's going to be a part of WrestleMania both nights. It's The Rock. You're not gonna pay me to believe that. It's impossible. And so the match will be for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania for night two. It will be Bloodline rules. But even with Bloodline rules, I believe Cody Rhodes will finish the story. There will be some type of equalizer to take place in that match. It will not be a free-for-all on Cody Rhodes. Either Stone Cold comes back, John Cena comes back, maybe somebody we're not thinking of pops up, but there will be an equalizer, and it's going to open the door for Cody Rhodes to become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and finish the story and hand that belt to his mother. This is going to be awesome, man. This is going to be an awesome WrestleMania. Let's run through all the matches yet again. At the time of this, while I was recording, they actually set it. They actually set the nights up, the matches, how they're going to fall night one and night two. So let's begin with night one. Night one, which is Saturday, April the 6th, we have a singles match for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley defending against Becky Lynch. Match number two, the singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Gunther will defend his championship against Sami Zayn. The six-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, with Judgment Day defending against DIY, The Awesome Truth, The New Day, A-Town Down Under, and New Catch Republic. Also on night one, match number 4, a singles match between the Usos, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Match number 5, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi will take on Damage Control in a 6-woman tag team match. Match number 6 of night 1, LWO, which is Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, will take on Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio in a tag team match. And match number 7, the main event of night 1, is of course the tag team match between the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Night number 2, which will be Sunday, April the 7th. Match number 1, a singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins will defend against Drew McIntyre. Match number 2 will be a singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky will defend her championship against Bayley. Match number 3 is a singles match between LA Knight and AJ Styles. Match number 4 is a triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. Logan Paul will defend against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Match number 5 is the 6-man Philadelphia street fight between the Pride. I still can't get over that name. Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford taking on the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akeem, and Razor. And of course, the main event of the weekend in a match that is to be determined due to the tag team match in night 1 for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, will defend his championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Yes, people, 13 matches that we know of. It could be more. We could have more. Who knows, man? Everything is on the table when it comes to WrestleMania. This is going to be an exciting weekend. All of these matches, even the ones that I'm not super excited for, there's something there that you can draw from. There's an element, I should say, in the matches that I'm not super excited for, that I'm actually okay. I can watch it. You know, for instance, that 6-man Philadelphia street fight. Not excited for it, but I'm interested to see the Street Profits in the match. You know, the LWO tag team match. I love Dirty Dom. I love Rey Mysterio. I love all 4 of these guys actually, but I, not super excited about it. But there's elements there that I am excited about. The tag team match, the ladder match with the 6 tag teams there. There are elements there that I'm excited about. So there's nothing that I can sit back and say, okay, I can skip it. None of these matches I feel I could skip. All of them feel like they are WrestleMania worthy. But I would like to know, everybody, are you excited for WrestleMania this weekend? What are your predictions? Do you think Cody will finish the story this year? Finally? Do you think it will come to an end, this bloodline storyline? What about the other matches? Do you think that Seth Rollins will retain? Do you think all of the champions will retain? Or which champion do you feel will lose their title this weekend? Let me know. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube and like this video if you don't mind. Also, don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to Faces and Heels, your podcast for professional wrestling here on the KB Radio Network. Of course, everybody, we will recap and review this upcoming weekend's extravaganza, 2-parter. We're going to split it in 2. Since they split it in 2, we're going to split it in 2 as well. Immediately following night 1, you can listen to that recap and review. And after night 2, we'll have recap and review of night 2. So we're going to be busy this weekend. I say we, but I am. It's going to be a busy weekend for me, but I love this type of busy. I am so hyped up for WrestleMania. I hope that you are too. Can't wait to speak to you this weekend. Enjoy the show.